It's hot out there, but let's blow them off the line of scrimmage.
For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory.
Memorial Stadium on Baltimore's 33rd Street is the site of a hard-fought AFC Eastern Division showdown this Sunday. The Baltimore Colts host the surprising Dolphins of Don Shula, a team that has bested Baltimore 6 out of the last 7 meetings. In 1981, Miami is pro football's winningest team, having won 7 in a row, counting the preseason. The game has special meaning for Shula, for he once guided Baltimore to a Super Bowl, and 12 years later, his son David is a reserve wide receiver for the Colts. Only a decade ago, young David was carrying his father's clipboard, and undoubtedly he'd like to perform well for his old man. His father would like to see him do well, but not too well. One man who hasn't played too well this season is a quarterback who is known as the franchise in Crab Corner, strong-arm Burt Jones. The old saying is, as Jones goes, so go the Colts. Burt has begun slowly. Baltimore has the worst passing attack in the AFC, and after 3 games, they have managed only a solitary win. Shula's Dolphins, however, are undefeated. The reasons are simple. They lead the NFL in quarterback sacks. Only the Bills have surrendered fewer points, and only Cleveland has fewer turnovers. They are clearly a disciplined and well-prepared team. That's why they sit alone, perched atop the AFC East. It is a critical game for each. If Baltimore can win at home, they'll be only a game out of first. If they lose, they'll be 3 games off Miami's blistering pace. From Baltimore, it's the Dolphins and the Colts on the NFL Game of the Week. Critics termed this season a rebuilding year for Miami. Their sentiments echoed a common theme. Shula is wise in the ways of winning, but his squad is just too young. They were partially right. Shula is smart, but his inexperienced team has proven quick to learn. While Shula's coaching savvy is vital, the development of second-year quarterback David Woodley has proven even more instrumental in Miami's return to power. Woodley, a la his predecessor Bob Greasy, has a nice passing touch, but he possesses another dimension, maneuverability. In the Dolphin offense, Greasy analyzes from the press box. Shula calls the plays, and Woodley makes both of them look great. On the final play of the drive, both made Woodley look great as a single coverage on number 32, Tony Vigorito, was spotted by Greasy, exploited by Shula, and capitalized on by young Woodley. Vigorito replaced injured speedster Tony Nathan out with bruised ribs. A replay shows that Woodley threw a perfect ball, and despite safety Bruce Laird's blanket coverage, there was just no way to avert the score. Ball control has been Miami's trademark for a decade. 9 plays, 73 yards, 7-0 Dolphins. The first possession for a visiting team is a critical one, and Miami had quickly set the tempo. The Dolphins had taken the lead, but in 1981, Colt fans have taken heart. It has been quite some time since Baltimore has performed miracles on 33rd Street. But this season, some new faces have shown up in Baltimore uniforms to inspire the Colt faithful. Last year, the new kid on the block was number 27, Curtis Dickey, a super rookie running back who outgained Detroit's Rookie of the Year, Billy Sims, over the season's final 8 games. This year, the new man is number 32, Randy McMillan. McMillan from the University of Pittsburgh rushed for 146 yards versus the Patriots on opening day to help Baltimore to its only win. But the man who really turns the team on is gutsy Burt Jones. Jones' first down was followed by a sad turn of events. Jones was shaken up. The Colts were penalized, and then Burt was intercepted. Number 55, Ernie Roan's end zone pickoff halted the Colts' drive. And a repeat reveals that Jones' play-action fake fooled no one. Roan got a deep drop from his inside linebacking spot, and Jones simply never saw him in the crease. It was Jones who made the tackle, and his reaction afterwards best revealed the Colts' state of mind near the end of the first quarter. The Dolphins took over from their own 14-yard line and proceeded to drive 86 yards for another score. It was a tribute to their offensive line. Bob Kuchenberg and Ed Newman are the veteran guards. Center Mark Dennard and young tackles Eric Laxo and John Giesler round out the front wall. Veteran Nat Moore needed time to complete his long route, and Woodley needed time to connect. Time was provided. Nat Moore finally went down after picking up 48 yards, and then Woodley, who wouldn't be sacked once in the entire game, relaxed behind the solid Dolphin front and picked on Bruce Laird once more. Laird, an underrated defensive back, was called for pass interference, and once again Miami's tough line was called into action. This time to carve out a path for rookie fullback Andra Franklin, number 37. Franklin's 10-yard run behind solid blocking extended Miami's lead to a pair of touchdowns. Twice they had the ball, twice they had scored. If the Colts were to make it a game, the defense would have to take control. After 3 games, Baltimore had surrendered 91 points. Only the Jets had allowed more. The week before against Denver, the Colt defense allowed 442 total yards. The week before that, they gave up 35 points against Buffalo. Obviously, defense is the weakness of this team. But midway through the second quarter, they did what they had to do: stop Miami. Miami's defense, however, has been outstanding all year long. While Baltimore gave up 91 points coming in, the Dolphin D allowed only 27, and their 16 sacks is tops in the league. They continued to smother Baltimore and Curtis Dickey. Hard hitting made scoring difficult, yet each team hurt itself by letting opportunities slip away. Baltimore had a sure 6 points, but number 80, Ray Butler, could not quite catch up to a Burt Jones speeding bullet. Miami, too, failed to capitalize on what surely would have tucked the game away when Jimmy Cephalo, number 81, dropped a pass that was right in the old breadbasket. In a period of the game when it seemed no one could seize control, someone finally marched confidently to the forefront. The shadow of back-to-back poor outings haunted him. Quickly that specter would be dashed away. Burt Jones suddenly developed the hot hand and got his club back in the hunt. His elbow was injured a week before, his wrist a quarter before. But Jones has always played with pain, and sometimes that's when he plays his best. Ray Butler caught up to the speeding bullet this time, and another look shows quite simply that no one in football throws a tighter, more accurate spiral when he's on than Burt Jones. With a first down deep in Miami territory, Jones quickly brought to a conclusion an 8-play, 98-yard journey. Curtis Dickey narrowed the Dolphin lead to 7, but the real reason for the play's success was Jones. First, Jones looked left to direct the safety's attention away from Dickey. Then his maneuverability bought him time, and a perfect throw bought him 6. This would be a tight game between two hungry division rivals, and it would not be decided until the waning moments. The best was yet to come. You can see it in his walk. Call it a swagger if you will. It's confidence, and Burt Jones has it. When Jones is at the controls of Baltimore's offense, the Colts feel they can score on anyone. Burt had started slowly this season, but after a strong first-half showing against Miami, the AFC's number 2 defense, he was looking like vintage Jones again. And as the third quarter began, the kid from the Bayou set out to trim the Dolphins' 14-7 advantage. Jones hit rookie fullback Randy McMillan in the flat on Baltimore's first possession. McMillan weighs 226 pounds, but possesses great speed. It was just that speed that enabled McMillan to easily conquer single coverage from Miami. Two plays later, it was Jones to Raymond Butler, and suddenly the Colts and Dolphins were deadlocked. Butler, a second-year pro from Southern Cal, has become Baltimore's big play receiver and would contribute more later in the contest. Another look reveals that he ran a tough corner pattern to get open, while Jones threw over 3 Dolphin defenders to complete the score. Baltimore had entered the game as the second least productive scorer in the NFL, but that seemed to be a thing of the past. Now the young Colt defense braced themselves for the inevitable Dolphin rebuttal, and it came quickly. With Jimmy Cephalo drawing most of the attention, Duriel Harris, number 82, found some open spaces over the middle. Miami then turned to number 36, fullback Steve Howell, recently reacquired after a short preseason stay with the Philadelphia Eagles. The Dolphins were glad to have him back. It was Howell's first carry of the season, setting the stage for the first catch of the game by running back Nick Giaquinto, number 35. Quarterback David Woodley had marched the Dolphins crisply in a drive that took 11 plays. Burt Jones responded with a scoring drive of his own that was wrapped up in just 3 tries. Once more, it was Ray Butler on the receiving end as the Colts tied the game at 21 apiece. Coming in, Butler had caught only 2 passes for 20 yards. This 67-yarder helped inflate those numbers considerably. Another angle of the touchdown shows that Burt Jones never saw the completion of the play. A late hit had sent him to the turf, but the crowd let him know he had done something right. The third quarter ended, and the players dusted themselves off and dug in for what would be an incredible final 15 minutes. The Colts have one of the youngest defenses in football, talented but occasionally prone to making mistakes. Yet the exuberance of such youth also means that this hardy bunch isn't afraid to hit. The Dolphins discovered that if they were going to win this game, they would have to travel a bumpy road full of hazardous stretches. The Colts shut him down for a while, but then David Woodley began to find the range again. First he went to Jimmy Cephalo, number 81, for a crucial gain. Woodley came back on the very next play with a toss to the other side of the field. Nat Moore was there to handle the rest. Miami got down to the 1, but couldn't punch it in on 2 tries. Finally, with 4th and goal, rookie Andra Franklin came through for his second touchdown of the game. Miami had the lead once again, but it would be temporary. Curtis Dickey broke a run down the right sideline that appeared to be his second touchdown of the afternoon. Unfortunately for the Colts, Dickey just did step out of bounds around the 9-yard line, as a repeat of the play shows. It also shows a key block from number 61, guard Robert Pratt, that gave Dickey the opening he needed. Inside the 5, the Dolphin defense was immovable, as fullback Randy McMillan discovered. But on 4th and goal, the Colts tried once more, and this time Curtis Dickey got his touchdown. Dickey's second score of the game tied things up with 4.5 minutes to go. But the Dolphins, as they had done before, would come back. David Woodley had been benched the week prior when he failed to move the team against the Oilers. He was determined that would not happen again. A remarkable catch from veteran Duriel Harris instantly put the Dolphins into scoring range. But the scrappy Colt defense held on the next 3 downs to force a field goal attempt. From 27 yards out, kicker Uwe von Schamann drilled it through to make it 31-28. Only 1 minute remained in the game, but the Dolphins had their 4th lead of the afternoon. Now they would have to protect von Schamann's points. To do it, they would have to thwart Burt Jones's last-second comeback feats he has made famous over the years. Jones fulfilled such expectations and then some as he launched a high, towering rocket to Raymond Butler for an apparent 47-yard scoring strike. Butler beat double coverage to haul in what looked like his third touchdown catch of the game. 31 seconds showed on the clock, and it looked like the Colts had pulled off a stirring upset. But the end zone celebration was quickly curtailed when the Colts looked back to the line of scrimmage. A holding call wiped out the score, and Baltimore would need to find another miracle. The Dolphins were determined to allow no such thing, and as the final seconds ticked away, Jones was still scrambling, looking for some way to pull it out. But Miami permitted no avenue of escape, and the Colts were finished. It was a tremendously disappointing loss for the Colts, but it was especially rewarding to the Miami Dolphins of Don Shula. The 4-0 start is their best since 1979 when they won the AFC Eastern Crown. And though few people, even in Miami, were thinking title at the beginning of the year, some revised thinking may be in order. There are now only 3 unbeaten teams in the league, and only 1 in the AFC. That team is Miami, and they are winning with players that most folks aren't too familiar with. But if they continue at this pace, this new group of Dolphin no-names might soon become as familiar as that other anonymous group in the early 70s that went to 3 consecutive Super Bowls.